Hi! Today I'm going to be trying to make some apple vinegar. It's not apple cider vinegar because you need cider to make that. So what I've done is I've just finished making an apple pie. I'm trying to make a vegan apple pie. Not holding out much hope for the pastry, but I'll keep you posted. So what I've got left is the apple cores and the apple peels from one apple pie, plus what my youngest has left around the house in the last 24 hours. And I found an old pear, so I shoved that in too. I'm told this is really simple, I haven't made it yet. It's the first time. Cider vinegar, apple cider vinegar is really good for digestion, apparently, but basically it just means that you've got something you can put into salad dressings. I also use it on sushi rice. So after you cook the sushi rice, I stick it in vinegar and sugar to make it get that tangy taste. So it's basically a way to not have to buy cider vinegar. And also use up your apple scraps. So it's as simple as this. Basically, I've got about 500 grams here of cores and skins and all the stuff we normally throw away. Then I've got here, well, it's 2 to 3 cups it said. So I've gone for 50-50 apples to water. So it's 500 ml, 500 gram, or 2 to 3 cups, whatever you go with. But I thought it'd be easier to match it. The other thing the recipe that I'm following says is that it has to be unchlorinated water. I doubt that's the case here because I haven't got a water filter, and I absolutely hate having to buy new stuff every time I make something new. So I boiled the kettle and cooled it down again. I'm not sure if that gets rid of chlorine, that's not scientific, but you know, I won't show this video if it doesn't work. So basically I'm pouring that in, popping it on top. And then what I've got here, where is it, sugar, is you can use honey or sugar. You need 2 tablespoons for the quantities that I'm working with on the water. If you use sugar, it'll take about a week apparently, and if you use honey, it will take a couple of weeks. Here I'm just using up, I had loads of sort of half tiny bits of sugar left, so I've just used a bit of demerara and a bit of soft brown. It didn't stipulate on the recipe I followed. Which was on the Spruce Eats, which is a really good site if you want to check it out. Then you give it a really good stir, and then all you do is cover it with a tea towel for a week or 2 until it starts turning darker. Now the thing that you need to do is give it a really good stir once a day. As you can see, I've run out of jars, so I've just used literally a flour vase, so that's fine. But as long as you give it a stir once a day, and then when it starts fermenting, you should start to see bubbles on the top of it. And as I say, take it out once it starts to get darker, and that's when we'll come back and we'll strain it and pop it in a bottle. Okay, wish me luck. Hey, I'm back, and it's actually been 3 weeks since I made the first bit of this. That's partly because although I said it to take 1 week to make the first stage with sugar, it definitely took 2 weeks. And I said to look for darkening and bubbling on top. Mine definitely didn't get darker, so I just looked for like a good fermenting bubble on top. So after 2 weeks, I strained it through a sieve just to get rid of like the apple pieces. And then got left with a liquid, again, put it straight back into the vase, and then put the vase of liquid straight back into the dark place and stirred it every day again for another week until it got to the right acidity. Today I'm going to check the acidity. My neighbours lent me some of these acid strips, probably remember them from school, and basically I'm just going to dip that in there for a minute. I'm just going to dip one into like a tiny little bit of milk that I've got as well, just to compare. So that comes out basically the same colour it went in. The milk one comes out like a lot darker, so you can tell they work. And the acidity that I'm looking for is 4.5% at least, to make it acidic enough to be like comparable to commercial vinegar. So what we've got there is kind of bang on 4.5. So I'm happy with that. That's ready to go. And all I've got to do is just pour it through a funnel into a bottle. And that should, I think I've got about the right size bottle, be, whoop, now I've got way too much. Never mind, that's fine, I can tidy that up. And basically, there's your vinegar. So I'm going to make a slaw later on today, and I'll use this in the place of traditional vinegar. And I think we're doing sushi as well tomorrow, so we'll be able to use it twice in the weekend. It's not like the quickest process, and vinegar doesn't cost much, but it's a really good way to use up food waste when you get sick of whatever else you do with your apple cores, and if you, I don't know, want to do something other than composting. So it's quite a nice thing to do. It means you don't have to buy bottles, like glass bottles of vinegar, and it means you've got like a supply, but it does take quite a long time. Not much effort, but a lot of time. So maybe it's for you, maybe it's not, but I'm quite keen to try it. Cheers, bye.